What is going on, everybody? Welcome back, the Woodward Sports Network. We are live in effect here on the Midday Show for a Monday. My name is Neal Ruhl. Rolling with me today, Detroit sports media legend. You know who it is, Terry Foster in the building, everyone.
Just means I'm old, that's all. That's all right.
Yeah, you're a wordsmith, right? I mean, yeah, legendary.
Yes.
Okay. I like it. We got the squad as always. Fish here in the fishbowl. Kennedy, Art. You know the crew. You know the crew. We got a lot to unpack here today, Terry. It was a busy weekend around town. We saw. I guess you want to say, and look, we're going to get into the Calvin stuff. We're going to get into the Cade Cunningham stuff. There's no question about that. But with all that being said, signs of life around the city, and I'm not talking about in the sports world. I'm just talking about in generalities. I know Kennedy was out on the town. At the Guns N' Roses concert down at Comerica Park,
yes.
Right?
Yes, it was so fun. It was awesome. My dad and I were like 8th row. So we were hoping, because we had heard through the grapevine that Axel has been throwing his mic at the end of concerts into the crowd. So we were like ready and like geared up to catch his microphone, but it landed like a couple rows in front of us. But I guess he had like knocked some chick out by throwing his mic like 2 shows back, like nailed her in the face because she wasn't paying attention and just like went down and was gushing blood. So I was like, Dad, we have to be prepared so we don't get smoked next. So yeah, but it was really fun. The set list was great.
I thought
Axel
they just
sounded
threw the
good.
guitar picks into the.
Usually that's how they roll, is just like guitar picks, every once in a while a drumstick that you gotta look out for, but no, he threw like his entire microphone.
Yeah, she's got to be aware.
So yeah,
You got to keep your head on a swivel out there,
Yes.
Terry.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
kind of like
dangerous.
going to a baseball game before the netting, watching for the foul balls.
oh yeah, that's scary.
Yeah, absolutely. But how was the vibe downtown? You know, because we're slowly
Yeah.
coming back to life here. I mean, I know there are some people out there that are still skeptical about going out into crowds and that kind of thing. What was it like down there?
Yeah, I mean there were a few people that were wearing masks for sure, but mostly maskless. I mean, it was outside. It was at Comerica, so it didn't feel like too scary. But it wasn't as packed as I was expecting for like a Guns N' Roses concert. So I didn't know if that was like due to like people still being skeptical with the pandemic or what. So, but I mean, we were on the floor, so the floor was packed. But when you like looked back like at the bowl behind you, it wasn't like super full.
Yeah, and Terry, I don't know where you stand with it all, but certainly still people aren't. We're not all the way back yet, and that's cool. Like I always tell everybody, like do do what you're comfortable with, and not everybody's comfortable yet, but we're getting there, Terry.
Yeah, but I think we could almost be back if we were more fully vaccinated, if people took this thing seriously. They call it the pandemic of the unvaccinated. So if you're vaccinated and you get COVID, I guess you feel almost nothing. One of our neighborhood kids caught it, and he's been vaccinated, and he just had a sore throat. And then I've heard about someone in my old neighborhood, caught COVID last week, and they died.
So we've seen every bit of the scale. We certainly have, and it's not over yet. But can I ask you about that, because you're in the social circles. I mean, you're a social butterfly. There's no question about that. But you went into a party, I guess, where you had to show proof of vaccination. So
correct.
What is that experience like? I mean, did it take a long time to get in? What was that like for you?
No, so yeah, like I told you earlier, I was rolling with like the techno crowd downtown. So
oh man,
completely different vibe than like what I'm used to at my little college bars that I've come
So
from.
you're the only normal person there.
I won't say that, but like yes.
You are.
I don't want to say it, but yeah.
Like my friend dates like one of the DJs and stuff, and like all of his buddies had like parties, so we kind of went to all the different ones, and I was just trying to be a trooper. I didn't know any of the music. I roll with like the more Guns N' Roses 80s rock crowd, so like techno, I was like, I have no idea what's going on right now. But yeah, so most of them you had to show proof of vaccination to get in. So I just had, I don't care that people know I'm vaccinated, but I just have a picture on my phone, and they just looked at it. They didn't look hard at it at all. Like the card that I could have had a picture of anyone's card on my phone, and they would have let me in. So, and then I heard like after that, like, some of the photographers that were there weren't vaccinated, but there were buddies of the DJ and they wanted their friends taking the picture. So I was like, okay, so it defeats the purpose anyway.
Right. And that's where it's going to be for a while.
Right.
I mean, let's be real about all this. I mean, that's the way it's going to be. So, again, we're not there yet. We're getting there. It was good to see the signs of life because I saw that all over social media as well. Lots of folks were out there and living their best life. And you know what? If you're comfortable with it, cool. If you're not yet, I get that too. Mm-hmm. You do you. I'm gonna do me. Terry's gonna do Terry. Like that's where I am. I'm not a judge, jury, and executioner, Terry. Just live your life how you feel comfortable, man. That's how I operate.
Okay, I guess I am an executioner. I think we are in a position where people are dying, where people are getting really sick, and we know the solution to this, and a lot of people are refusing to do it. I think it's stupid because I want normal life. I want to go back to the ball games in the parks, and I want to be full, and I want to, drink my beers and have fun without worrying about getting sick or without worrying about passing along to somebody else. So I think what's the deal in this country, we got too many rights. And people always, talk about this is my rights, this is my rights, this is my rights. But I hear people say, well, I don't want them to put chips in they put chips in it, which I think is bullshit. They put chips so they know what I am. First of all, I ask this question. Why in the fuck does the government care where you are? You're some nameless, faceless person out there. Why do they care?
FBI, people might come to your house to search you for something that you may or may not have.
Yeah, how often does that happen?
Well, for me, zero. For me personally, zero. Right. But for other people, I haven't had that happen. There are other people that may have had that happen, hence why they're nervous.
Go on your phone and look up like you want to wear a pair of socks. Then all of these alerts come up. Can we have notification where you are, what you're doing, and then all of a sudden there's going to be a bunch of socks ads on your phone. So they know where you are. 100%. They know what you're shopping for. It's already happening.
Yeah, Terry, here's the chip. The chip's not in your vaccine; it's in your pocket.
Right.
And you voluntarily give that up. Here's the chip right there.
And take somebody's phone away from them. They will fight you to
the death.
Or I can't find my phone. Oh my God, where is it? You feel naked.
Yeah, and I'm fine with it. Look, you can know where I am. That doesn't matter to me because I'm going to be working, or I'm at the golf course, or I'm having a bourbon. Like that. Those are the three things.
I love your life, the bourbon part.
Fishing with the kids or whatever. Like that's about it, Terry. I got about 5 things I do, and that's all that. So I don't care. You want to know where I am? I don't care. I'll tell you where it doesn't matter to me, man. I just want to move on, man. I just want to move on and get the work handled for the day and go have a bourbon with Terry Foster, man. Damn. Why not? Why not?
Yeah, hey, bourbon rocks, man.
It certainly does. But it was a big weekend for Kennedy. She was out on the town. It was a big weekend in the Detroit sports scene. I mean, yesterday, Terry, Sunday was action-packed between Calvin's speech, Cade Cunningham making his debut in the Summer League as well. It was a pretty action-packed Sunday.
Unfortunately, they went on at the same time.
They did. Yeah, they did.
And so I think now in the media, do we have to make judgments on Cade Cunningham after one game?
Absolutely. That's it. We have to determine the path of his career based on one Summer League game. Jalen Green had 18 points, so let that debate begin, Terry. We're going to get into all of it. There's no question. We're going to get into the Cade Cunningham thing. We're going to get into the Calvin thing. And it's training camp time for football, and we're hearing it. We're seeing it. You covered it for a long time throughout your career, and I want to get into that discussion as well. The whole camp happy times thing, that's back right now.
Yeah, and it's always happy when there's a regime change.
And when you're 0-0.
Right, and all you hear is how bad the previous administration was and how great these guys here feel me, they understand me. It's so much better. It's always happy. It's always like that.
Yes, it is.
For the first few weeks, and then September rolls around, and you're 0-1, and then it's not that way anymore.
Yeah, when you're 1-4, the narrative is
right.
Certainly shifted. There is, and that's the way it always works. I mean, win games. You win games, everything will be fine. But we're going to touch on all that stuff as well. I certainly want to get into the Calvin Johnson stuff because I heard the talk around town. I've heard people's opinions, and I am very much anti well, Calvin signed a contract. He had to give the money back. There's more to it than that. This isn't, this isn't working the assembly line or something like that. This is totally different. And Terry, you and I have a similar take, but we also have, some different angles in which we get to that take. The Cade Cunningham stuff as well. Talk a little bit of Tigers. I mean, we're going to get to it all, Terry.
I can't wait.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's get into that. We'll take a break coming up here in just a couple seconds. But, again, just to reset everything, and that's where we'll be. We're going to be breaking it down. Neal Ruhl here for Northwestern Tech. You can start a new career in an industry that is always essential, the heating and cooling industry. Learn more today by visiting northwesterntech.edu.
Welcome to the Call Sam Chopper Shop, where you can win a custom-built chopper while helping our veterans at the same time.
Watch as the Bad Pig Custom team turns this bike into a one-of-a-kind classic chopper.
And when it's finished, we'll be donating the bike to Volunteers of America Michigan to raffle off in support of our vets.
A great cause to give back to those who've given so much.
Watch for Call Sam Chopper Shop episodes on our social media channels and get your raffle ticket today at callsam.com/chopper shop.
Welcome back to the Midday Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Terry Foster back with you. But, Terry, I do want to get into this. This whole thing's been polarizing. The Calvin Johnson Hall of Fame speech, it went the way everybody thought it was going to go. I thought he gave a very passionate speech. And before we get into the whole who's right, who's wrong, and where you stand on all that, I really enjoyed – we saw a side of Calvin Johnson that we never saw here in the 10 years that he was here with the Detroit Lions. You saw emotion, you saw vulnerability. That is why I do like the Hall of Fame football speeches, because in a macho sport where you lay it all on the line every single play, that's where those guys are pretty vulnerable.
It is. I guess I'm fortunate. I got to see that side of Calvin because I was working on a story on Calvin that never ran, but he told me the one thing he loved to do, he just liked to take his car and go out 94 and just drive. Sometimes he would drive all the way almost to Chicago, because you can't actually drive to Chicago because the traffic gets crazy. But he
Right.
would go there, and then he would turn around and come back, or he would drive up Lake Michigan after practice and just come back. It's something he just loved to do. He felt freedom. Nobody knew his car, and he said there was like a dip in the road on 94 where he would just gun it. He wouldn't tell me how fast he was going, but he was probably going 90, 95 miles an hour because he knew he couldn't be stopped by the police because he could see the whole landscape.
Right.
That's one thing he loved to do. And Calvin Johnson claims that he makes the best fish tacos in the world.
Fish tacos, a strong play. I'm a big fish tacos guy.
Then you got to have some of Calvin's fish tacos.
But, Terry, let's get into this because, as expected, no mention of the Detroit Lions, quote-unquote, organization. He mentioned the Detroit Lions fans, which I think was a great move on his part. He mentioned his business as well. He's still a businessman, still has business interest and all that kind of stuff. But the smile on his face and everything, as we're running the footage right now, certainly was great to see. But I felt anger, Terry. When I was watching the speech, I felt anger because it's come to this. And because it's come to this again. And you can say what you want to say about the offer by the Lions to do appearances and get him his money back and stuff like that. And I know that people are going to say there's pettiness on both sides. I understand that. But Calvin is a Hall of Fame wide receiver, the best wide receiver this franchise has ever had. No debate. No debate whatsoever. I just think that the Lions still haven't learned from an organization level. And I'm going to qualify this all day, Terry, when I say this. This is Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell excluded. This is from an organizational perspective. They did it with Barry. They've done it with Calvin. And I was pissed, Terry. I felt for Calvin. I think that's so petty on the Lions organization on their behalf.
It is petty, but Calvin is petty too because he kept bringing it up. I didn't get my money. I'm not going to mention the Lions. Sometimes everybody's wrong. And I think in this instance, the Lions are wrong and Calvin is wrong. The one thing the Lions have never learned is when you have an elite player on your roster, whether it's Barry Sanders, Calvin Johnson, those are not your employees. Those are your partners. If you work with those partners, they can make your franchise better. They can make you earn more money. But the Lions are such aristocrats, and they're above everybody else. So they look at these guys as, okay, I'm paying you, so just shut up. And that's wrong.
Well, that's my problem with it, because we've seen it happen before, and that's why I don't want to say I side with Calvin. I think Calvin's right, man. Calvin went out there. He talked about it. He literally laid his body on the line every single day for this organization. For $1.6 million, which I know, to me, but it's different, though. Calvin's the top 0.00001% of people that have ever done a craft. It's different. There are different rules for different folks. And for the Lions organization to do this again, see, Terry, like, at the crux of your argument, I'm with you that it is petty on both sides. But damn it, this is the second time the Lions have done this, man, with generational talents. The second time they've done this. At some point, Terry, you are what you are.
Actually, they've done it more. But we haven't heard it because Kevin Glover is not Barry Sanders. Chris Spielman, to a certain extent, they did that to him too. But you have to look at the Lions. Their best players in the last few years, Barry Sanders, Calvin Johnson, and Ndamukong Suh, Matthew Stafford, all get me out of here. I want to go somewhere else or retire.
Right, and based on that, when does the finger get? I don't care. I don't care if Calvin Johnson is. People want to point to him and say, "Well, he signed the contract." I don't want to hear that, because at some point, this organization's at fault, man. You just gave the roster. That's a hell of a roster. That's a lot of Hall of Fame football players. When do they get their blame? When does the ire turn? And I've noticed through the court of public opinion, I've noticed this, that in my opinion, there are far too many people that are siding with an organization. And again, Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, excluded.
They're in the minority. I think most people are coming down on the Lions more than Calvin.
See, I didn't feel that from what I've read. I truly believe that there are a lot of people, and look, I think we're a very blue collar city, certainly. I mean, my parents worked in the car factories, right. No question about it. We are. So we seem to equate things to that if you punch in and you do your job and you do it well, you get your money and you get your paycheck, and that's what it is, and you show up for work all the time. But when you're somebody like Calvin Johnson, when you're somebody like Barry Sanders, when you're somebody like Kevin Glover, who was one of the best at his position, people forget that. He was one of the best in the league at his position. When you're that, rules are different for you. They are. That's society. That's everything that we've seen. Rules hit different for those kinds of guys. And I'm tired of their. You name that roster of people. I'm tired of what's the one constant in all those parties. Who's the one constant? Who keeps doing it wrong?
It's the Ford family. But I guess I am not. Feeling sorry for Calvin. You probably aren't either, because he got paid $114 million for 9 years. That's a lot of bank. But did he get treated right at the end? No.
And that's my problem.
But a contract is a contract.
And I get that, but that's not the way you do. But what other organization operates like that, Terry?
Not the Indianapolis Colts. Seattle gave Marshawn Lynch his money. Most organizations say, you know what? We'll take the hit. We'll give these guys their money.
Then who's the problem? Then who's the problem? And it always comes back to this.
I tell you what, here's why the Lions can't give Calvin his money and couldn't give Barry their money. I think they're afraid that if we give them their money with no problems, all these other dudes are going to come up and say, I want out too. I want out of my contract. I know you got some signing, some bonus money for me. The floodgates will open because guys want to get out of here. They want out. And I think the Fords know that. So they can't have this big floodgate of get me out of here. You paid Calvin, you're going to pay me too, so I'm out of here.
But it's different with Hall of Fame dudes. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
no, it is different.
The Sue thing, they let him walk.
You can't have 10 or 12 players a year saying, get me out of here.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't think that will happen. Like the Sue thing, they let Sue walk. And that was the day the music died. Because we talked about this last week when you and I were doing a show together. That was a historically great Lions defense that Sue was the anchor of. I mean, historically, like top 10 NFL history defense, maybe the best rushing defense in the history of football. With all that being said, they let him walk, and that's fine. You know, you made your business decision.
He knocked the door down to get out of here.
Whatever. Yeah. The moral of the story is he left. Okay, and that's fine. They made a business decision. They said for the level of compensation that we would have to give Sue, we don't feel it's worth it, even though it played out that it probably was worth it. But I digress anyway. That's fine. He left. When you have Hall of Fame guys that are going to retire, that are retiring, it's different. And they wanted to retire. See, I think that something that gets lost through all this too, with Calvin, with Barry, they never played again. They were done. And be it through frustration of the Lions organization, be it the physical toll that Calvin Johnson paid, be it the fact that I don't know that Barry Sanders ever truly loved football. He was just something he was really, really good at.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah, just something he was mercurial at, and that's why he did it, and that's fair to me. I'm not in a position to say, Barry, you should stick around when you don't want to. He's earned that right. He's banked his money. He can do what he wants to do. We can all do that, Terry. You put yourself in a position in your life, you can do what you want to do. I'm going to put myself in a position in my life where I do what I want to do. That's how life works. But with all that being said, I felt a lot of frustration because we're seeing this again. And you brought up some great names, man. I forgot about Kevin Glover and stuff like that, man. I was angry, man. I felt frustrated yesterday at the Lions.
And because Kevin Glover got screwed on his contract, contributed to Barry Sanders leaving.
Because that was his guy.
That was my guy.
Yeah, but we see this over and over and over, and we just don't see it other places. You don't. You think, even as bad as it is with Aaron Rodgers and the Packers right now, if Aaron said, you know what, I'm out, you think the Packers would hold him hostage over $5 million or $10 million or whatever it is? You think they would?
No, they would not.
That's my point with all this. I don't understand how you can be angry at Calvin.
And their relationship is more strained
sure.
than Calvin and the Lions were, than Barry and the Lions were.
Yeah,
I think they would still pay the man.
I agree. I think that they would too, and that's my point. Like how there's any ill will or people upset with Calvin about a contract and having to give back the money the way he's upset about it. He said, "Hey, I'm not dancing for this money." They wanted him to come back and sign the autographs and do the appearances and stuff like that. I know if you want to get into technicalities, he didn't quote unquote earn that money, but he earned that money playing for this organization and getting to the Hall of Fame. He earned that money for this organization.
Well, they're saying that they can't give him the money for salary cap reasons, but once again, $1.6 million is not that much money. You could still, they're not going to be good anyway, so you could take that cap hit.
You could sign him today, to a one-day contract for $1.6 million. You're still going to be
5-12 or whatever. It doesn't matter if you have that 1.6 or not.
Yeah, I mean that's really the thing with me. I just sat there and I was frustrated by it. So we'll get into everybody's opinion on that as well. Cade Cunningham, the Summer League, tipped off yesterday for the Detroit Pistons. Tigers in action. They're not as bad as we thought they were going to be, Terry.
Nah, I never expected it to be like this.
Yeah, I never expected it either. Let's get into that when we come back. He is Terry Foster. My name is Neal Ruhl. This is the Woodward Sports Network. Welcome back to the Midday Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. He is Terry Foster. My name is Neal Ruhl. Happy you are with us wherever you're watching on the Woodward Sports app, YouTube, streaming on Facebook Live as well. Certainly take all your comments and appreciate all the support and everything like that. Fish, it's in the fishbowl. He's on a bit of a hangover right now because the Olympics are over, and he's a proud, great American. He's got you see right there on the fish can, USA, USA, USA. How happy were you yesterday when they came back and eclipsed China for the most gold medals?
I was happy. I was shocked. It was a good feeling. It was very exciting that I didn't think they were going to be able to do it. And a lot of people here, well, they don't care about the Olympics, but the people who do care were also surprised that they were able to clip them. China had a chance in women's boxing, and she lost to Great Britain. So we also had a chance in boxing, and we lost as well. But we don't talk about that. We got more goals than China. So we also got 100 medals, which no other country had either. So that should be something we should celebrate.
Yeah, but is that like everything else in society? Isn't there like 3,000 Olympic sports now or something like that?
Yeah,
is it watered down?
They got all kinds of stuff. But,
yeah, there's 29.
If you have more money than everybody else and better facilities than everybody else,
you should win.
You should have more medals. And some of these other countries that did well, guess where they train? United States.
Yeah, and they all do come in there. Got some commentary coming in about the Calvin Johnson stuff. Kenneth Reed on Facebook says the Lions look at their players as property, nothing more, nothing less. And Terry, I think you said it best because I never thought about it this way, and I think that was a great take by you. That elite level players are your partners. They're your partners.
That is correct.
Not your employees, because you sustain gains because of their work. That was a great take by you.
Nobody comes to Ford Field to see the Fords up in the press box.
Not once.
Nobody goes to Pittsburgh to see the Rooneys wave at people. You go see the players. That's why you go. But, the owners, to their credit, they have created an atmosphere in great stadiums where we want to come see these guys play. But the bottom line is we come to see the talent.
Right, and that's the way it all breaks down. Speaking of talent, Cade Cunningham tipped off his professional basketball career. The Summer League games are starting out in Vegas. There's games rolling all around the clock, which is a lot of fun. I admit, I guess sheepishly, I watch way more Summer League than a regular sane person should because it's always on. Right. So I do. You covered the NBA for a long time, Terry. I'm sure you got a chance to check it out. What were your general takeaways from the game yesterday?
My takeaway is, do we overreact?
Yes.
There's some things that I saw that bode well for the future. For instance, even though Cade Cunningham didn't shoot the ball well, he shows that he's a guy that can facilitate a game. He can dictate how fast or slow a game is going to be. He's a very confident guy. But I'm wondering, this whole community, we went through this whole we love Cade Cunningham for 2 weeks, him and the Buffs and everything. But then we saw Jalen Green just go off the game before. Now, do we make that comparison until they play Tuesday night?
I know, and I am way more excited about that than a normal sane person should be, because you got a lot of people in your NBA circles, friends of mine that are NBA scouts, like they do that for a living. That's how they feed their family. And the thing that I took away from all that was any scout that I talked to said if you had a knock against Cade Cunningham, it's athleticism. That he's not like a Jalen Green, whose vertical is the same off of either foot, which is a crazy, crazy stat, by the way. A crazy stat. I mean, he's super athletic. He's a scorer. And certainly, look, we all overreact. That's the social media nature, the social media time that we live in. I'm not going to, lose my mind over it, because after that first quarter, everyone was feeling themselves. If you were on social media, on the Twitter crowd, people were like, wow, this is great. They may never lose a game ever again. And I think you saw people are playing for money, Terry. They're playing for their lives. They're playing to not go do something else with their career. They're playing for money. They're pros. And if they have something that they can expose, they're going to figure out a way to expose it.
Right. And the thing about the Summer League, we talk about the 1980s, you are allowed to hand check a little bit more. You're allowed to be more physical than you are during the regular season, believe it or not. But I think I talked to an NBA scout who I talk to every year, and he just said, and it played out, Jalen Green is a stone cold killer. Jalen Green's thing is, I'm going to get mine. I'm going to be Rookie of the Year. It's me, me, me. I think Cade Cunningham looks at the bigger picture. How do we win this game? Now, he failed it last night, but what am I going to do to win this game? If it's scoring, I'll do it. If it's facilitating, I'll do it. If it's defense, although I'm not impressed with his defense, he'll do it. I think he's more team-oriented, and sometimes when you're more team-oriented, there's more reasons to criticize rather than the guy that's just going in. I'm just going to get my points. You look at someone, he had 27 points, he had 18, good game. We don't see players who do everything they can or make the right plays to win a basketball game. For instance, LeBron James, early in his career, if the game was tight, he made the right basketball play. He would see an open teammate, he'd hit him. He got criticized for that.
Yes, he did.
No, you're supposed to take over, dog. Well, no, that's the right play. And you know what? He was right. It was the right play. It didn't end up being a winning play, but it was the right play. And the other thing, I tell you what, early in his career, you know who you didn't want taking the last shot in the game? Kobe Bryant, because he would brick it all the time.
And he was going to jack that shot up no matter where it was, no matter where in the flow of the offense it was. He was shooting that shot.
There'd be 4 people in his face. He's taking that shot. And guess what? He missed. He missed most of the time. But then he learned. The game slowed down for him. Sometimes he would pass, not often, but sometimes he would. So it kept you off balance. So he would shoot that jumper only with 2 people in his face, but he started to make it a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, I'm not judging an entire career off of one summer league game because he had his moments. And Terry, this was something that I figured was going to be the case. I know you figured was going to be the case. Cade Cunningham, coming from college, that NBA pick and roll hits different, man. It hits different. When you have guys that are running this offense that are threats everywhere and the floor is spaced out, the only way that you're going to learn how to defend that is by doing it. That's just, and you're going to fail a lot. You're going to fail a lot. And there was a lot of confusion, I thought, in the pick and roll situation defensively. Oklahoma City got some very easy baskets in the first quarter. But with all that being said, that's what I like about his performance yesterday was I like that he put it on himself. And when it was down to crunch time, he shot the shot. And he didn't make it. Right. He had that open 3 in the corner with 20 seconds left, would have made it a 1-point game. He shot the shot and didn't make it. But I love the mentality because he comes out and this is his team. Did you get that feeling from him?
No, I got the feeling, yeah, this is my team. I know y'all were here last year. You may be here the year before, but this is my team.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's a great because I see too many guys, okay, I wasn't here last year. I got to, take a back seat for them because these guys may not be as good as me, but they have more NBA experience. But he's like, nah, I'm taking over here. And I tell you what, you know who I saw last night in the game? Young Bill Laimbeer. And I'm talking about Luka Garza. The pick and pop. He has that little tippy toe jumper. It was the same. It looked just like Bill Laimbeer when he would do the pick and pop and hit that open 3-pointer.
He struggled on defense yesterday, though.
Yeah.
There was a stretch in the third quarter, man.
Laimbeer struggled on defense too.
Yeah. Speaking of the pick and roll, he did have some issues, but that's where you're going to see these youngsters struggle the most. Is in that defensive situation because A, it's a communication thing. B, you have to guard with a feel for what's going to happen. And when you roll in here from college, you don't know what's going to happen. And I do want to say this too. And I don't know. I hope I'm not coming off as negative because the thing that I wanted to see the most from Cade Cunningham, I saw his team. I don't want to put him in this class yet because you're not supposed to put this kind of pressure or anything like that. But I saw that Isaiah Thomas in him. And Terry, look, I'm a guy, like a little bit younger guy, obviously, but I think Isaiah Thomas is one of the greatest athletes I've ever seen in that with his size, his mentality won basketball games, his mentality changed a franchise, his mentality transformed a city. I saw flashes of that from Cade Cunningham where he is going to do what it takes to win. This is his team, and I love that.
Right. Isaiah changed the mindset from the Pistons. Pistons just wanted to be a good basketball team. We want to win our 50 games and do well in the playoffs. And Isaiah said, no. We're here to win championships. And so that mindset, and it got him in trouble sometimes because, rub people the wrong way. But he didn't care about that. He wanted to win championships. And so he changed the mindset of an entire organization. I don't think Cade Cunningham has to do that. I think the mindset is already there. Okay, if we're going to do this, we're going to, change the entire franchise and change all these players. We're doing it to win a championship. Like there's certain organizations I'm convinced they don't care about winning a championship. Utah Jazz is one of them. We want to be competitive and win our 50 games and sell out the arena. That's all they care about. And that was the same with Stockton and Malone when they were playing there.
Stockton and Malone, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The big elbow device is. I'll never forget about that, Terry. I hate that organization, man. I hate that. I hate.
Well, don't
that
hate the organization. Hate Karl Malone.
And I hate him too. Yeah, absolutely. I was so glad when the Pistons beat the Lakers in 2004, the 5-game sweep. That made me happy. Neal Ruhl here for Coast. Since 1919, Coast has pursued one mission to make the world's professionals' jobs safe and life easier. Today, Coast lights are a favorite amongst tradesmen, women, outdoor enthusiasts, DIYers, first responders, and more. Visit coastportland.com. Use the code WSN20. You get 20% off your entire purchase. Think about that, guys. Knocking 1/5 off the price. Do the math. They stand by their products, back them up with a lifetime warranty. Buying for your whole crew? Sign up with the Coast Crew and take advantage of special discounts, early access to new products, and more. Again, that 20% off code is WSN20. Hit up Coast today.
We are here, downtown Fenton, my favorite Bridge Street Exchange.
That's right. And you want to switch up your wardrobe this summer? It's this easy. You ready, Joey?
I'm ready.
All right, you ready? I like it. You want to do it again?
Yeah, let's do it again.
All right. Ooh, Brixton. Nice. One more time?
Yes.
Ooh, I like the hat on this one, too. You ready to do it one more time, Joey?
I'm getting tired. One last one.
All right, let's change it. Bro, where's your shirt? You need new clothes this summer. Bridge Street Exchange in Fenton. That's where you need to go. Thank you, guys.
Welcome back here, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl with Terry Foster. Whole squad here, Fish, Kennedy, Art. You know who they are. You know how we do it. Rapping about sports. Busy weekend across the Detroit sports scene. But, Terry, we're going to get more into the Lions, and this is, I guess, my favorite time just from a humorous standpoint, because the whole discussion turns to camp happy times and everybody's 0-0, and we'll get into that coming up in just a little bit. But this Detroit Tigers team, yesterday notwithstanding, I don't think that there's a lot left for the Tigers to accomplish this year, Terry. They're not going to make a run at the wild card or anything like that. They pretty much are what they are. But I have to give it up to them, because I thought this was going to be a historically bad baseball team. And I think Casey Mize has come much further than I thought he would in this initial year. But this Tigers team, Terry, I got to give them a little bit of credit, man. They're not awful. They're not embarrassing.
I'm going to give them a lot. Even when they lose,
they hang around all the time.
They hang around. They bite you a little bit. They make you fidgety.
Yeah.
I thought even the 7-5 loss, I mean, they got down early. We're up 5-2. And just a goofy-ass play. It started with a walk and then a bad throw from short to second base. And then all of a sudden, that's where Cleveland scored their 3 runs. So they scored based off a mistake, and they get a double, and then the floodgates roll. But they kind of, you know what, they're fun to watch. I would never say that at the beginning of the season. I watched the Tigers, so they're getting their asses kicked, and that's it. That's the end of the ball game. Now they're down 3, and so you know what? They may not win this game, but they got some fight. They'll tie it, or they'll go up 1, or they'll go into extra innings, or they'll make the other team shake in their boots a little bit. And I like to say that. And one thing that we forget in this town, we always say that we want to see effort. But I think a lot of times fans only associate effort with wins and losses.
Yep.
I think now you see that effort even when the Tigers lose. But they win these series. They've won the month of June, had a winning record in July. Granted, it was only by 1 or 2 games, but they still did it. Something I never expected with these guys.
A winning month, like the first winning month they had in a very, very long time. I do have some frustration about it, Terry, and I talked with my buddies about this over the weekend, as a matter of fact. A.J. Hinch is a very, very good manager.
Yes, he is.
Make no mistake. You can see it. It's tangible. You can look at it. The way he handles bullpens in quote-unquote high-leverage situations it is unbelievable. He's a new school manager, and he's very good at what he does. It just kind of bothers me that he wasn't here sooner. Like what could A.J. Hinch have done with Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander and that level of talent that they had? Probably would have won the World Series because that's what he did at Houston.
I think he would have. He would have handled that bullpen differently.
Totally differently.
Because Jim Leyland was he felt obligated to use guys in certain situations. Right. A.J. Hinch is like, all right, you didn't do your job. I'm not putting you in the 8th or 9th inning.
Or conversely, if we have Soto or whoever I deem to be our best relief pitcher right now, and 3, 4, 5's coming up in the 7th inning, he'll pull the trigger on that, and he'll do it. And I love that because the thing with baseball, it's such a stat-orientated game, but the stats are derived through math. It's concrete fact. It's inarguable. And he does that, and that's the way he operates. I'm very happy with the job he's done. I feel he hasn't gotten enough credit, Terry. I really believe that. People talk about the players and Jonathan Scope, and they had some good years, and Casey Mize development and all that stuff. A.J. Hinch, to me, is as big of a reason as anybody else. Certainly Casey Mize plays a big part in it, but I think A.J. Hinch is being undersold in all this.
No, he probably is, but A.J. Hinch doesn't have a squad yet. So he's thinking, okay, I got to do things unconventional. I can't do it the way they did in the 60s and 70s because we can't power our way to victories. I got a little athleticism on this team, so let's use it. Let's use my strength. And I can't use my bullpen the way they did in the 70s or 80s. So I gotta think. He thought of innovative ways to, I would say, to facilitate this roster and get the most out of it as possible. Now, granted, there's going to be times where it's going to look bad because when you take a risk, guess what? You don't always win. And I credit Detroit fans for not coming down on A.J. Hinch when somebody goes from first to third and is thrown out. They don't go, oh, my God, what is he thinking? No, they understand this is what you have to do.
When your talent is less than.
Yeah, it's not going to always work. This is what, it's the only way the Tigers have a shot.
Yeah, and you have to play the cards that are in your hand, and I think he's played them very, very well. And that's the other thing that really strikes me. You don't see them. I mean, it's baseball, so you play 162 games. 12 games you're going to get blown out. 12 games you're going to blow the other team out. That's just the nature of the beast with baseball in that many games. But you very rarely see them get pounded in a game just for whatever reason. And I'll change the channel and write them off and stuff like that. And they're down 5-0 in the 3rd inning, and I come back and it's 5-2, and then it's 5-4, and then they lose 7-5. But, I mean, with all that being said, I think even the most hardened critic, which I've been very critical about Avila and what they've done in terms of, the free agency dollars or lack thereof. I understand that. But even I have to stand up and say A.J. Hinch has done a great job. Casey Mize is the real deal. Terry, he leads the majors in double play ground balls.
Yeah, it's amazing. Now, because of A.J. Hinch, because of Mize, and because the Tigers shown some life, maybe that got Chris Ilitch to say, okay, I'm going to speak up now and say we're going to spend in the offseason. Now, whether he does or not, I don't know. But because of the way the Tigers are playing, maybe Chris Ilitch said, you know what, we can start the next move now. We can start the next phase of Tiger baseball in the offseason now. And his confidence is up. So there's a trickle-down effect or triple-up effect to the front office.
They're still in the position, though, Terry, where you have to hit a multi-leg parlay. And I'll talk about my bookie a little bit later on. But you still have to hit a multi-leg parlay if you're Al Avila and you're the Detroit Tigers, in that Spencer Torkelson has to be a hit. Riley Green has to be a hit. You see what I'm saying? Like,
I think we're assuming they're going to be, but we can't.
But you can't. But
we can't do that.
The math says it's not going to happen. The math says one of them will wash out. I mean, that's just the nature of baseball. You've been around it a long time. I've been a fan of it a long time. Even the surest of sure things still has a less than 50% hit rate in baseball. Just going off the math, one of them's not going to work out to the degree that we think they are. I mean, I think in this town we've elevated Torkelson and Riley Green to perennial all-star status. That's not going to happen. That's just the way things work.
You can't say it's not going to happen. Chances are it's not going to happen.
Yeah,
but there's a possibility they could both hit. And
sure.
Maybe somebody else doesn't hit that you're trying to rely on.
Yeah, and you have to hit a couple later draft picks and stuff like that because, again, I always go back to it. There's universal truth in sports, be it NBA, especially in the NBA, especially in the NFL, hell, especially in Major League Baseball, all of them now. The rookie contract is the key in today's day and age of salary caps, and superstars get paid a higher percentage of teams' money than they ever have before. Rookie contracts are the key that will set you free. So those two guys have to hit. They have to. And I'm just not sold that they both are. Look, to me, Spencer Torkelson right now, I mean, he's going through a bit of a swoon, I guess, at Erie, but that happened to him before. It seems like he'll figure that out. The power he possesses is incredible. I don't know if you guys have ever been on social media and see some of these home runs he's hit at Erie, even at West Michigan. And I don't know how much minor league baseball everybody does. I'm a big minor league baseball guy, so I go to – you don't see the distance of home runs that Spencer Torkelson's hitting at single A and now into double A. You don't see that. He is a freak in that perspective.
Right. I guess he hit a big one the other day.
Right.
So, yeah, and so did Riley Green. It seems like they do it all at the same time.
They do, don't they? Yeah.
So Riley Green, you're slumping, so am I.
And then they start raking again, and all's right with the world. It's just I felt that was important to take a segment and to mention that it's not embarrassing. I legit, Terry, thought it was going to be embarrassing this year. I thought they were going to challenge for one of the worst records of all time again, but they didn't, man. They didn't, and a lot of credit to A.J. Hinch. And I'm not. Everybody's all 0 or 100 with everything, right? Like, I think that the fans, and you brought up Chris Ilitch will say, should I get in my pockets right now and start things going? As critical as I have been about their lack of free agency spending, I'm cool if they don't. I don't know how pro I am at giving Carlos Correa $25 or $30 million a year for the next 6 years. Or you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how pro I am.
I hear you, but sometimes when you're in the city of Detroit, you have no choice. You got to overpay. You got to sign a contract where people are like, why did you do that? It's the only way you can get them here, because this is not a free agent destination. People don't want to come here, but once they're here, they like it.
Isn't that weird? This town's always been like the people I've worked with from different areas that move here through college sports or whatever. Once you're here, you love it here. It's the weirdest thing.
That's why we're so high on Cade Cunningham, because he decided, I'm going to love Detroit before I even get there.
Yeah, it is, and that is true. But, it's that time of year. We're getting ready for football. When we come back, I want to talk about this whole training camp narrative that's going on with the Detroit Lions. He is Terry Foster. My name is Neal Ruhl. This is the Woodward Sports Network.
Hey, make sure that you check out Levels. They're provisioning grand opening and car giveaway. That's right. They're giving away a car, a brand new 2021 Dodge Challenger giveaway. T Grizzly bringing the Grizzly gas, live broadcast all day. The opening event with Woodward Sports. It's going to be happening at Levels, a center line right off of Sherwood Avenue, Friday, August 20th. So not this Friday, but next Friday. Go to enjoylevels.com for more information. There's going to be a free food trucks, tons of giveaways, and your chance to win that new Challenger. The Morning Woodward Show, midday show, and the bottom line will be there broadcasting live at Levels off of Sherwood Avenue in Centerline. So make sure that you check them out.
Hi, I'm David Hall from All Financial. With historically low interest rates and 5-star service, you could pay your mortgage off faster without increasing your monthly payment. Get started now at 248-308-5000 or chat with us online. Call hallfirst.com.
Morning, Art.
Morning, D-Mac.
Welcome back. Woodward Sports Network, the midday show. My name is Neal Ruhl, Detroit sports media legend. Terry Foster with us as well. Fish is over in the Fish Bowl celebrating USA's triumphant run on gold medals. He the fist pump, all of it. Kennedy's here. Art's here as well. T. Grizzly's going to be on the scene, huh, Art?
D Grizzlies, yeah. Super excited for that.
Yeah.
And Levels has been planning a grand opening for a while now, getting everything perfect. And some Detroit pride at the grand opening.
His jam is still in my workout playlist, man.
Yeah, first day out. I mean, I feel like you can relate to that. Your first day out of the clank, you get things going.
Well, people preyed on his downfall. Yeah. I don't know if you know that or not.
I never would have thought that Neal Ruhl
but he stood tall.
He stood tall, yes. Joy Road's own. Yeah.
What? Why are you laughing so hard, Art?
You come off as a very buttoned-up individual. I would have never guessed that you would be saying the lyrics to First Day Out. It's
you'll learn this, Art. I got a lot of levels. Speaking of levels, I got a lot of levels, man.
Ooh, okay. All right.
I got a lot of levels.
All right.
Yeah, he'll surprise you sometime.
Yeah.
Detroit Lions getting things in full swing. Training camp's going. And Terry, football's right around the corner. Not because we're in August, not because of calendar flip, not because we had the first preseason game. NFL training camp's in full swing because it's camp happy times, Terry. You've been around it. You've covered hundreds of them. Take me through that dynamic, Terry. Why do we fall for this, I guess, as a mass of sports fans? Take me through this. Give me the different levels, I guess you would, of training camp here.
Right now, you have the Lion fans, and not just Lion fans, but fans across the nation thinking their team is going to be it. One of the smart things the NFL does after the draft and after the free agents, the first thing they do, they bring in these guys for practice, no pads, shorts and t-shirts. Everybody's faster than you thought they were. They look great, and that's my team. They're going to be wonderful. So we fall for that fake. And the other thing is the coaches hype it up. Oh my God, have you seen Okudah? He looks great. Nobody wants to challenge this guy. Well, we have to remember the Lions don't have wide receivers.
Right. That's what makes me laugh about all this.
So why would you want to challenge him? It's not like Calvin Johnson or going up. It's not like it's even Brett Perriman. It's his son going up against Okudah. So, but one thing I used to do every year, I would go to newspaper sites, and they always have a poll this time of year. What are the New York Jets going to finish this year? What are the Green Bay Packers going to finish this year? What are the Detroit Lions going to finish this year? Do you know most fans in just about every city, they always pick one number, 10-6. Well, now, of course, this year's the 10-7 limo.
Which the Lions will be in, by the way. Did you add that, Terry?
Whatever. So they always pick that because they're optimistic. My team is going to surprise you, or my team is going to be as good as the pundits are saying they're going to be.
I like that, the 10-7 limo. 10-7 is the new 10-6. I was curious how that was going to work.
The only problem is that little stupid 10-7 limo doesn't have a muffler.
No, it's got a lion's roar. It goes.
Somebody's already stolen the hubcaps off this damn thing.
So you call us delusional for 10-7. We're actually smart for 10-7 because we could have said 17-0, but we're realistic. We know they're going to get some losses.
You know that limo is a hoopty.
How dare you?
It's a hoopty, brother.
It has gold wheels.
So we chose 10-7, which will probably be a wild card spot.
You say we. I'm the originator of the 10-7
okay,
limit.
Art says 10-7.
Listen, the space is getting full. There's so many people that want to join the 10-7 limo. I don't know.
You know why?
Art says 10-7. We'll get into the wild card.
Once again, the NFL plays this game with people, and everybody thinks their team is going to win 10 games. And y'all are falling for the trap.
And then wild card goes to the divisional game, which goes to the conference championship game, goes to the Super Bowl in LA.
Okay. You know what? Fool's gold. The Lions have at least 2 fools in this room.
Well, that's how it works, right? You go wild card, division, conference, Super Bowl.
Listen.
Or you go missing the playoffs.
How dare you?
Missing the playoffs.
Incorrect.
Getting draft picks.
Wrong.
And making the playoffs. Maybe your 3rd or 4th.
Well, we know you won't be in LA in February. I will.
Yeah.
When the Lions are there.
Here's the other thing. Just pick a different team. Pick a different team. You can have a second team. We're the Lions fans around here, and they're going 10-7, Terry.
All right, but here's what you can't do. I don't want to hear this shit in December when they won 5 games. Man, the Lions let me down again, man.
You drew your line in the sand, guys.
Right.
I'm going to tell you right now, they're going to kick off the season by beating the 49ers' asses.
Yes, they are.
You know what? I think they will.
That's right.
I think they'll beat San Francisco. You know why? Because they're going to lure your asses a little bit closer, and you're going to say, yeah, 10-7, screw that.
17-0.
13 wins.
Hey, Art,
Yeah.
I would say it sounds like he's preying on your downfall.
He is preying on my downfall, and you know what?
You're going to stand tall.
I'm going to stand tall.
I'm predicting his downfall. No, this is what annoys me about Lion fans. You one of them.
And then we'll beat the Packers.
This year, this time of year, our team, we're going to win 10 games. We're going to win 11 games. I just know it. And then December, you're pissed off. I'm Lions free. Fuck this team. I never want to see him play again.
But it's different this year. It's different this year.
How?
Because Devin Garner came in and said that they're going to make it to the wild
What
card.
does Devin Gardner know? He doesn't know anything.
Ouch. Ouch. That hurts.
Terry's throwing shots like this is a rap battle.
He's a homer.
That hurts.
That you like vibe with, watch their games, low-key root for.
Whoever's on
Steelers, Cowboys, Eagles, Falcons.
Whoever's on CBS.
Anyone?
Whoever's on CBS.
Against the Lions game.
Right. Or the 4 o'clock game, whatever that is.
Do you guys have a team B at all?
Oh yeah.
Who's your I'm curious, Kennedy. Who's your team B?
This year it's the Jags because I love Urban Meyer and Tim Tebow. So.
You know both of them
both
are going to fail.
of them are going to suck. It's
Tim
fine. I love
Tebow
underdogs.
But you're here for
it's
it.
going to be cut.
I'm here for it, and I'm here for Urban Meyer.
You know Tim Tebow is going to get cut.
You stop that right now. Everyone
Urban
says
Meyer
he looks
is going to
great.
fail.
All of the articles were like when Tebow hit the practice field, everyone went nuts.
The sea parted, didn't it? Yeah. The earth parted.
And he looks jacked. He looks so in shape.
We're not talking about who we're in love with.
No, I'm not even saying that.
Tim Tebow looked jacked when he was walking around
the
beat. The
it's
dude
different.
is big.
He's ready. He'll prove it to all of you. And when he knocks all your socks off,
just your eyebrows raise up.
Just as long as they don't make him play quarterback.
Don't come crying to me.
Look at that! Look at that look on her face right now.
She's ready.
The eyebrows
Tebow
raised.
time.
She's squared up.
All right, Kennedy, here's what I'm going to do to you. When they cut his ass and you come over here with your little big crocodile tears, I'm going to go like this. I told you, get away from me.
I really don't think Urban and Tebow are boys. And I think...
Well, yeah, but Urban's got to win.
Right.
He's not going to have scrubs on his team.
I think he might let Tebow be a scrub on his team. I don't know.
So he is a scrub.
No.
Terry, does Tebow catch a pass this year?
Yeah, he'll catch a pass.
He'll catch a pass in a game?
Thank you.
Multiple.
But...
Will he drop a pass? Yes.
Yes.
But I think Urban wants to get him to that point. What is it? X amount of years in the NFL, then when you can retire.
So this is all
and you
about
get the
hooking his
benefits.
boy up. This is not about winning.
Totally.
This is not
But I
about
love both of them,
looking
so
good
it's
on the
fine.
field. This is about hooking your boy. So
Yes.
why are you so optimistic about them?
Because I love both of them. You saw it at Florida. You're going to see it again in Florida again, in just a different part of Florida.
You know the NCAA and the NFL are two different animals.
Nope.
It's all the same. She's dug in. There's nothing you can do to help her, Terry.
Okay.
It's over.
Do you know who the college basketball player of the year was last year?
No.
Luka Garza.
Oh.
He got drafted
ours.
in the 2nd round. Okay? Just because you are great in college doesn't mean you're going to be great in the pros.
But everyone's hyped on him right now.
But not like Cade Cunningham. Nobody's saying Luka's going to lead the Pistons to the promised land. No, they're saying he's going to contribute. Because he's a contributor.
It's Luka's team, Terry.
You don't think Tebow will contribute?
No.
No, God.
Especially after he gets cut after week 6.
Man, what a positive Monday. Jeez.
No kidding.
You know, am I supposed to give everybody bubble baths when I'm on this? No, forget it.
No, but
if
you
I'm
know
supposed
what?
to give everybody bubble baths, and get me off here.
I just don't want you. I hate that you're hurt, and I want to heal
I'm
you.
not hurt.
You're hurt. Yes,
No.
you are.
You know what I have? I have 30-something years of experience
Hard
watching
data.
greatness, watching bullshit, and watching fans get duped. And I don't want you crying in December.
I won't be, because we'll already be up a couple wins and on the trajectory to 10-7.
The 10-7 limo.
Yeah.
The only time I've actually ever cried was the wild card game against the Cowboys. That was the first time I actually shed tears over a football
You're going to
game.
cry this year when they go 10-7, baby.
Happy tears. Whoa!
Jags Lions.
Jags Lions.
Ooh, that would be a good Super Bowl.
There we go. Can't wait.
I'm going to make that bet on my bookie today.
Oh,
Jags, Lions, no?
Let's go, Fish.
No.
Put a dollar on that, Fish.
Guys, I don't want you losing your money. I don't want you losing your pride. I'm trying to protect you.
We're one pride around here.
I'm here to protect you from yourself.
Protect you from your negativity. I'm sick and tired of hearing people sick and tired.
I'm not negative. I'm real.
Honest? Oh,
I am real.
Praying on my downfall.
Not blissful today.
He is. I'm not going to lie about that.
I'm gonna stand tall,
Terry's my
too.
guy. But
you guys are young, impressionable, a little bit dumb, vulnerable, gullible.
Can someone clip Terry calling us dumb?
All right, let's take dumb off the tape. You're gullible.
Yeah, you've told us this before.
Easily fooled. Terry, sometimes you just got to learn through experience.
How many? Are you on the 10-7 limo?
Yes, he is.
No,
How dare you?
And you know why? Because this man has got experience.
Yeah. No, because he's been hurt. Everyone's
been
hurt. I want to heal the hurt.
Yeah, no, I am not on the 10-7 limo. You know what I am on though? I'm on the draft capital train. I love the way they're doing it. Multiple first-round picks. You do it through rookie contracts. They're not there yet, but I'm not saying they can't get there with Brad Holmes.
Here's what these fools don't hear. I don't think they're gonna go 10-7 this year, but they are on the right track. They are a real organization.
Where they're on the right track
for the first time in Lions history.
That's where I stand because Terry, I'm with you. That's where I stand with it. All the draft capital that they have, the organization is in a position to do something now.
No, brother, it's not the draft capital. It's somebody knowing what to do with it.
Well, that's part of it too.
But you know what? When they're on 10-7 in 15 years, like what you're talking about, you're not allowed. You're not allowed to hang out with the Lion Pride because you're doubting them now.
The first drink at the playoff game's on me, Art.
Thank you.
I got.
Well, you better save your money because it's happening coming up pretty soon.
You know what? Here, I tell you what. If that Lions limo can last 15 years, they'll be 10-7 in 15 years.
Well, you know what? Right. Lucky for us, it's a build Ford Tough limo.
There you have it. When we come back, Terry's got a story about a Hall of Famer that just got in to the NFL Hall of Fame. I want to hear the story, and we're gonna have Terry tell us the story when we come back. He is Terry Foster. My name is Neal Ruhl. This is the Woodward Sports Network.
Tony is a third-generation logger that has a simple, practical approach to life and work. That's why his Coast DX342 knife is perfect for him. The stainless steel blade is rust-resistant and made for all-weather use. And the double roll-lock safety ensures that it will never inadvertently close when he doesn't want it to. That's why Coast is trusted tough.
The second hour of the show here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal Ruhl. He is Terry Foster, Fish, Kennedy, Art. Very boisterous, very boisterous. Kennedy, we have some feedback on that last segment. Break it down.
I mean, the chat. I mean, come on, people. We're in here and we're drunk on our Honolulu Blue Kool-Aid, right? Well, spiked with 8 Mile vodka, right. Of course.
Of course.
That is true. And you got Lions cornbread, too. You eating that.
From Granny.
Give me a sampling of some of the comments.
Listen to this nonsense. If you think they'll go 10-7, you don't deserve a mic. Well, I got one. And so does Art, and so does Fish. Ooh. So, if you're drinking Haterade and not Honolulu Blue Kool-Aid, you could see yourself out of here. That's right. Is all I'm saying.
That's right.
Is that Kool-Aid sweetened or unsweetened?
Unsweetened.
Unsweetened. Okay.
It's the good stuff.
I never drank it, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Unsweetened because we don't need anything fake in it.
This is all real. Sweet stuff.
All right, I'm wearing a white shirt. I don't want to get the Kool-Aid all over my white shirt to stain it.
Well, Fish, Kennedy, and Art, while their opinions might not be in the Hall of Fame, Calvin Johnson did go into the Hall of Fame this weekend. So did Peyton Manning. So did Charles Woodson. Terry, you have a Peyton Manning story.
Yes.
When I saw this was on the show sheet, I got excited. I want to hear it. Tell me your Peyton Manning story.
All right. I had a Heisman vote when Peyton Manning and Charles Woodson were vying for the Heisman. I went back and forth. I picked Charles Woodson, put him on number 1 on my Heisman ballot. Lo and behold, right after it comes out, Peyton Manning is drafted by the Indy Colts. So the paper sent me to Indy to do a story on Peyton Manning. So I'm talking to him, and so he knew I was from Michigan, and so he's like, dude, I got to ask you, who did you vote for the Heisman? So my immediate thing, let me just lie to him and say, I voted for you, Peyton. But I didn't. I couldn't do that. I said, I voted for Charles Woodson. And I could tell he was hurt. He's like, really? So, yeah, because he lost to Charles Woodson in a close vote. So he was a little bit hurt. And I said, first of all, they won the national championship. Yeah, maybe I fell for he's playing both sides of the ball. But the bottom line is you couldn't, if Charles Woodson was on the left side, you couldn't pass over there. This dude is big. He's strong. So it was close. Yeah, you had a great career, but you didn't win a national title. And I always remember the Steve Spurrier quote, you can't spell Citrus Bowl without UT. And so I didn't vote for you. So after a while, he kept asking questions. Then he was cool about it. He said, okay, I understand. He said, well, you're from Michigan. It's probably something you had to do. I said, no, I didn't have to do it. I thought he was a little bit better than you.
Right, which I'll concur, because he could never beat Florida. He never won a big game. And in the meantime, as you said, Charles Woodson won the national title, was the most dominant player in college football that year.
Do you know what happened the following year after Peyton Manning left?
T. Martin.
T. Martin.
Not T. Grizzly, but T. Martin.
T. Martin led Tennessee to the national championship.
He was the missing piece. Little did we know.
I guess so.
Little did we know. And that was a great debate back in the day. I mean, but yeah, Charles Woodson, just that interception at Michigan State is the greatest college football play I've ever seen in my life.
Oh yeah, the one-handed interception was just nuts.
Yeah, it was unbelievable what he did. But yeah, certainly Peyton Manning, a Hall of Famer. But when you look at it, and I know this is going to be blasphemy, but that's been the story with Peyton Manning throughout his entire career, man. He was second best to Tom Brady. I know he got the 2 Super Bowls. The one with Denver, I equate to my college career. I got a lot of A's on group projects that I didn't really contribute a lot to. That Super Bowl Peyton Manning won in Denver, he got an A on the group project.
Yeah, he did.
And didn't show up to any meeting.
And what Peyton Manning during the regular season, great. During the playoffs, I'm like, damn, Peyton Manning turned the ball over again?
500 guy. He was a 500 guy in the playoffs. That's just a run-of-the-mill quarterback in the playoffs. He was, and I know people are going to lose their mind and say I'm stupid and things like that.
That's something here.
That's cool.
That's mental on his part.
Yeah, and that's just the way it was. But that was a pretty power-packed class that went into the Hall of Fame. And again, we talked about the Calvin thing in the first hour. If you want to get the Woodward Sports app, go back. You can rewatch. Go fast forward right to any segment of the show that you want to. We talked extensively about the Calvin Johnson, but that class was power-packed. Those people that went in there, and they combined them too with the 2020 guys that couldn't get in because of COVID. But I mean, just across the board, Steve Hutchinson. People I had forgotten how great Steve Hutchinson made Sean Alexander. Made him a lot of money.
Yeah, he crushed you.
Yeah, I mean that offensive line that Seattle team had, that I was really hoping they would beat the Steelers. I was probably the only guy in Detroit that wanted Seattle to win because of Walter Jones and Steve Hutchinson and all those guys.
The bus?
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry.
Oh man, damn. I got to look at you differently now.
Yeah, no, I did. I'm sorry, but I was a big fan of how the Seahawks built that team, and they were a great team. But in the end, the bus got it done, man. He's from Detroit. I don't know if you know that or not, Terry.
Really?
Yeah, huh. I had heard that, but no, that is a story that I wanted to have everybody hear you talk about because, again, I'm not a huge Peyton Manning guy. I know that's blasphemy, but I'm not.
Okay. Nice guy.
Great, very entertaining. One of the best Saturday Night Live hosts they have. Very funny segments, all that stuff. Great interview.
Because a lot of dudes, when you tell them I didn't vote for you, and they thought they deserved the Heisman, they either would have cut the interview off or cuss you out.
Right.
Peyton, he was cool about it.
Why hasn't Charles Woodson getting into the Hall? Why haven't we heard more about that around here?
Because of Calvin. Because the reason we didn't hear more about Charles Woodson any other year would have been the big story.
Right.
But Calvin not only got in, but he had the pissing match with the Lions. That's all the media focused on. Calvin was willing to talk about it. If Calvin had said, you know what, you know how I feel, I'm not talking about it anymore, but he kept feeding the flame. It was I don't like the fact they didn't give me my money. So that was a story. Then I'm not going to mention him in my Hall of Fame speech. So that became a story. Then he didn't mention him in the Hall of Fame speech. So that adds fuel to the fire. So Calvin Johnson added flames to his story, to his hot story. He kept putting the coals in there. So that's why we didn't hear much about Charles Woodson.
Yeah, but I mean, Woodson was so dominant, both in college and in the NFL. I mean, dominant, one of the best to ever do it at his position. I thought that would have registered more. I mean,
well, he didn't have a current story that was going on that galvanized the public. Well, actually, it didn't galvanize the public. The Lions. Anytime you talk about the Lions, it's always the number one story. So now you have Calvin Johnson saying, I'm not going to mention him. That becomes the number one story. And not only did he say that, but he kept going on and on. He talked about it anytime you bring it up.
I thought that and I hate to come down on your industry there, Terry. I thought that they should have force-fed that a little more. I mean,
old news.
Yeah,
yes, he was a dominant cornerback. Yes, he was dominant, but that was old news.
Yeah, I just thought that was a little bit weird in that he was just another. I saw one line about Steve Hutchinson in the newspaper that he played at Michigan. I thought that would have got a little more juice, but certainly Charles Woodson, because that's the last link to Michigan being relevant in college football.
Right.
That is. I mean, I know it's going on a quarter century since then. But that is factual. They have not been relevant since that time.
Now, if Woodson had said something about Michigan, about the program being crap, he doesn't like Jim Harbaugh because he hasn't brought it back to bowl status, then you know what? He would have gotten more play. But he didn't. Charles Woodson
just talked about his mom and his family.
Saying, Mama.
Yeah, I know. I thought that was intriguing that Charles Woodson didn't get any more pub.
What have you done for me lately?
That's weak though, man, because the career speaks for itself. Just how dominant of a player he was.
That's true, but what's the better story?
No, I get it. I get it. We're in a clicks. You're in a clicks-based business now. You got a product to sell. The newspaper has a product to sell. I get it.
See, I disagree with the clickbait thing. Is what does the public want? What does the public want to talk about?
Right, and that's clickbait. I guess is a bad term because people click on it. Like the whole Phil Mickelson thing. I talked with some people at the Detroit News, like an average weekly story, it was around 40,000 clicks, 50,000 clicks. That was like 450,000. That's clearly what people wanted to look, I've always said this about media, Terry. They get a lot of flack, and we get a lot of flack. You got a lot of flack. You don't stay in business by giving people what they don't want. Whether you're a restaurant, whether you're a newspaper, whether you're a mechanic, whatever you do, you don't stay in business for hundreds of years by giving people what they don't want. Clearly they want it.
No, that's true. When I did radio, every Monday we used to get all these texts. Don't talk about the Lions today. They lost. I don't care about the Lions. And then you mentioned the Lions. Your phone lines were lit up. Your ratings went up. You talk about something else, they click you off.
Right. Russell Lee says on Facebook, I thought Calvin's speech was nothing more than a direct advertisement for his business. Yeah. He's got that stage.
I thought it was almost an infomercial.
Yeah, it teetered on that. It certainly teetered on that.
He didn't quite go there, but it was close.
Yeah. Neal Ruhl here for my bookie. In the world of sports, the offseason, a time to relax and regroup after a hard-fought season. But playing with my bookie gives you the choice to decide when your season begins and ends. At MyBookie.ag, you can bet on hundreds of games from leagues around the world. Whether it's a game day parlay or a long shot winner, MyBookie's got you covered. Use pregame props or bet the game live. You can shift the odds in your favor and always come out on top. And not only does MyBookie host exclusive sports betting contests you won't find with any other sports book, but the bonuses are also insane. If you sign up today with MyBookie, use our promo code Woodward. That's Woodward. You'll receive up to $1,000 in bonus money when you make your first deposit. That's $1,000 in extra cash when you make your first deposit with MyBookie using the promo code Woodward. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.
Tony is a third-generation logger that has a simple, practical approach to life and work. That's why his Coast DX342 knife is perfect for him. The stainless steel blade is rust-resistant and made for all-weather use. And the double roll-lock safety ensures that it will never inadvertently close when he doesn't want it to. That's why Coast is trusted tough.
Welcome back to the Midday Show. Neal Ruhl, the legendary Terry Foster here with you, Fish, Kennedy, and Art. Also, they got the ovens cooking. The cornbread's firing up for them. And, Kennedy's got some Jaguars cornbread going up. Which I have a lot of respect for you for that. You jumped out on the limb for that one. Respect.
Thank you.
Respect. I want it. You know what? I want it to work, too, because I do, in a deep, down, dark place, I like Urban Meyer, too. I do.
But you know what's going to happen to that cornbread, that Jaguar cornbread?
What
It's going to go flat in the oven.
Yeah.
Because there's no baking soda in it.
Yeah, because, just the way he dominated Michigan and played Michigan out, I thought that was – he toyed with them. It really was. It really was incredible. So, it's one of those things where I give you a lot of credit.
You know what the incredible thing about Urban Meyer? Urban Meyer could be morbidly sick one year. I got to leave Florida. I can't do it anymore. I'm about to die.
But that shows how great he is.
Wait, and then all of a sudden, whew, I'm at Ohio State.
Yeah. All of a sudden the heat's off.
Yeah, right. Say, bam. I'm $1 million man now.
Then the same thing happened at Ohio State.
Right. Yeah, I'm about to die. It's too cold here. Coaching is too tough. Now I'm in the NFL.
Where you have to
Terry,
live it.
you better stop.
Right. Now, if he succeeds in NFL, you know what's going to happen? Florida's too hot. I can't, oh my God. My
and
heart.
Poof with
my
the
heart
Detroit Lions.
Giving me problems. Oh, damn. Did the Pittsburgh Steelers job just open up? Damn, I feel great again. Urban Meyer, man, is like a cat. He's got 7 lives.
But you know what? Props to him because it's worked everywhere he's been.
Everywhere.
So
he's the Larry Brown of football.
I think that's a good comp. I think that's a very good comp. He is the Larry Brown of football. But it's worked, man. It's worked for him everywhere he's went. So, you look at it, and I know that the odds are stacked against him, and people aren't believing in it. But Kennedy believes, and that's pretty
I like
big
my
time.
underdogs too, so it kind of helps that Urban went to a team that's not all peachy.
Nah,
if he does do it though, Terry.
All right.
If he does do it.
When.
Now, are you willing to root for him when they become the London Jaguars? When they move that franchise out of Jacksonville?
Hell yeah.
I mean, I don't really love Florida as a state anyway, so I'd be more down with the London Jaguars. It doesn't sound as good as Jacksonville Jaguars, but they'll figure it out. Maybe they can be what's that one big cat, Lymphs or something? What? Am I making this up?
I think so.
No, there is a link. She's not wrong. There is because the WNBA team's the Minnesota Lynx.
Oh, yes. I should have known that.
So they are a team.
Minnesota Lynx.
But then they can be the London Lynx. Sounds pretty good.
I guess so.
Yeah, but
I think it works.
The NFL would want to find a name that relates to London.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
The teacups or something.
Yeah, something related to anything in
London
Wimbledons. How about that?
Yeah, whatever, but they'll figure that out. Reaction on Facebook, Kevin James says, Manning had really tough competition in both college, NFL, SEC, and in the AFC, and also in college with Florida, Miami, Florida State when they were really good. Then his entire NFL career gets the Patriots. It's not like his defenses were awesome. But, yeah.
Why did T. Martin do it?
T. Martin didn't seem to struggle.
No. And Peyton Manning, regular season, It didn't matter if you're in New England, Miami, whatever. He'd carve you up. Then you face him again in the playoffs. He's like, regular guy.
Yeah, and he was. And again, I always go back to it. He's great. I understand that. But he's not that Joe Montana, Tom Brady. He's not at that level with me. So
half
maybe I'm
step
wrong.
below. But, loved his game.
No, yeah, he was. He was great. He was great. I don't know, Terry, if you saw this story. I do want to take just a couple minutes on this real quick. I don't know how big of an outdoorsman you are. Louis Martinez caught a 48-pound, this is a record, a 48-pound salmon in Lake Michigan. You a big fishing guy at all?
I am not, but I'm always curious what's in the water. I live near lakes, and I always peek in the lakes to see what's in there, if there's anything swimming around. I'm obsessed by sharks. So I watched the, what's the one, River Monsters? I love that show. With the Wade guy.
Yeah.
So I don't do it, but I want to know what's in that water. I want to see the 400-pound catfish and this salmon story. Yeah, I followed it. I thought it was pretty interesting.
A 48-pound salmon. I do a little bit of fishing. I went salmon fishing once. I caught like a 16-pound one. I mean, it took a good 25 minutes to get the thing in the boat because they hit and then they run, and you have to let them run so you can tire them out. So you can start. Then when they stop, you reel them, and then they run again. You let them run. I mean, it is a battle. But a 48-pound salmon, I couldn't even imagine. But it's funny you talked about that because I was on vacation last week, and we were down in Nashville, and we rented a boat, and we're out on the lake, like a pontoon boat. And, we're jumping off the back of the boat into the lake and all that kind of stuff. And every now and then it would pop in my mind. You got the water's like 30 feet deep or something like that. And I'm thinking, what is down there?
Right.
I get nervous about it because I'm soft. I'll admit, like I'm a pretty soft dude. I don't like spiders. When I go fishing, if I catch a pike or whatever, I put a glove on because I don't want it biting me and all that kind of stuff.
No, those things offend you.
Yeah, I
that
know,
hurts.
man. Yeah. So I'm a pretty soft dude, but I thought about that a couple of times too. Like I wonder what's under there, man. But props to Louis Martinez, 48-pound salmon. That's some good eating.
He could barely hold that thing up. I'll take a couple fillets.
Yeah, which I did when I caught my salmon. I had it on the grill that night.
Was the fillet like this?
I wasn't quite that long. It was about like that.
Okay.
Good couple of strips off of it like that. I had it on the grill that night. It was, to this day, it's the best salmon I ever had. Just something about when you take it from the lake and get it on the grill that night.
Right.
It's really good. Now I'm pretty lazy, so I'm not a guy that's gonna, do that a lot because it's a lot, right, to fillet them and to go all through that. And I'd rather just throw it back in the water and I'll stop by the store on the way home. I'm soft like that.
Yeah, Kroger does my filleting for me.
Yeah, that's kind of how I operate too. So
yeah, did you go? When's the last time you've been fishing? Went fishing 3 days ago. At Kroger, I said I'll take that fillet and that one.
Not that one.
That's
that
fishing.
One.
No, I want mine nice and pink.
That's how I roll too. And then drop some lemon on it and throw it on the grill and come back in 20 minutes.
My favorite fishing is Seattle.
Pike's Market.
Pike's Market. Yeah, they throw the thing across the thing, and
yeah,
I love that.
Yeah.
Now, since we bring in fish, you know what they do in Chinatown in San Francisco?
What's that?
The fish are live when you buy it, and if you want like a fillet or something or a steak, they cut the fish from the back so it stays alive, and the fish is squirming around on ice. It's alive, so they cut it in a way where it stays alive so it's fresher. It's a little cruel, but that's what they do.
So you see that right in front of your eyes?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't. Again, Terry, I said I'm soft. I just want to see it.
Yeah, I don't like them suffering.
Yeah,
those fish are going like, oh man, this hurts.
Yeah, I don't need all that. I just drop it on the grill and be done with it.
And they put it on the grill for it alive, or is he dead by the time they put it on the grill?
No, when they give you the fillet or the steak, it's dead. That part is dead, obviously.
But I'm talking when they put it on the grill. Before they put it on the grill, is it alive or dead?
No, they don't put it on the grill. You do.
Oh, okay.
But when you put it on the grill, the fish is dead.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not here for that. I'll just take the fillet and throw it on the grill, drop some lemon on it, maybe some garlic, and do up some rice, and I'm ready to roll. Like that's about the extent of the involvement I want. We'll take a break. When we come back, it'll be Fish's moment of glory. We'll talk about the Olympics when we return. USA. This is the Woodward Sports Network.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
a graduate
of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Back at it here, Woodward Sports Network. We are the Midday Show. He is Terry Foster. My name is Neal Ruhl. Happy you are with us. If you haven't yet, download the Woodward Sports app. All you got to do is push the button and push play, and it starts. And you can go back and catch up on demand. Anything you missed, certainly from the Morning Woodward Show as well. Anything you want to catch up on. If there's a segment you want to go back and listen to, fast forward right to that. It's all right there at your fingertips. So get the Woodward Sports app. That's what I've done. That's what I've had my family and friends do. And it's very, very easy. So
yeah, it's a fun network.
It is. A lot of fun here. We're sitting here cutting it up, having a good time. Love working with Terry, Detroit sports media icon. So it is. It's a lot of fun. USA medal count is in. They finished with 39 gold medals. They came back on the last day to clip China because we're America. USA. That's all we care about.
America.
That's all we care about is gold medals. Silver and bronze. Get that stuff out of here. But Fish is in all his glory. Fish, take your victory lap. And I'm curious, as somebody that was all in with the Olympics, which I was not, admittedly was not, and there's a couple of factors which I'll discuss in a couple of minutes. But Fish, take your victory lap. Give me your impression of the Olympics, Fish.
Other than no crowd, which by the way, the volunteers and all the athletes from other countries made a crowd. Now it wasn't 20,000 people, but it was like 200-300 at times, depending on what sport and depending on if it was a gold medal match. Other than the crowd, it was the Olympics. Same old. You got the athletes doing their thing. You got great moments, people sharing for gold, which was a big controversy at the Woodward Sports Network. You've got records being broken all over the place in swimming. Pole vaulter, a guy went 6 meters for Sweden pole vault. World records in track and field. So, it was the Olympics. It's fun to see records get broken. They get broken every year because obviously, people from the 1940s are different than 2021. So, yeah, other than the crowd, it was the same.
Terry, how much Olympics did you consume? We talked about this a little bit when it started.
I probably watched 20% of it. I had my favorites. I like the track and field. I watch that. And
did you watch it live, or did you watch it when they replayed it in prime time?
Yeah, the replay.
The time zone.
I never watched. The only thing I watched live is the basketball game, which was at 10:30 p.m.
Which was at the very tail end of my commitment area.
Yeah, the time zone does hurt. I would have watched more if it wasn't in Japan, but, I watched as much as I could.
Who's your favorite Olympian?
I enjoyed getting up. I don't know if I really have one. I mean, there were a bunch of standouts. Felix, is it Allison Felix, the track and field runner?
Yeah, that was my girl.
She was a standout.
I love what she did. She has 11 medals now. But to be honest with you, I didn't care if the United States had more gold medals than China. That didn't factor to me because I looked at the total medal count and they were way ahead. So I'm like, that's good enough for me.
Yeah, but you want to see number one on all the broadcasts instead of seeing a few, because a lot of the broadcasts put China as number one because technically speaking,
which I thought was stupid. Like they did medal count and then they had China number one with their golds, but then they're like 25 medals behind the USA. I didn't understand that.
Well, they just put golds because
then put gold medal count up there, not medal count.
That's a mistake. They should have had the United States 1, China 2, Great Britain 3. I knew the top 3.
I didn't watch a lot of it. I did check in to the gold medal basketball game. I made that appointment viewing to do that. I was happy to see them win. I was happy for Kevin Durant because for whatever reason he wears it a lot, and I don't understand why. Because he's great.
It's because of Golden State.
No, we do that in basketball. We always, and the public, for whatever reason, the best basketball player, if that team fails, we put the shine on them.
Yeah.
That's your fault. Well, what about the scrub who missed the layup? Nah, it's you. It's you, dog. So that's why Kevin Garnett, Durant, if they had lost, it would do. You should will your team to victory. So I think that's unfair. We only do that in basketball.
Yeah, that is weird how that happened. I'll tell you what my favorite moment in that gold medal game was, though. Late in the game, I forget who was shooting the free throw for France, and it bounced off the rim, and Draymond Green went and picked it off the rim, because you can do that in international basketball. That was the most heads-up play, and I think a lot of people were shocked to see that. Imagine being that cerebral, right? Because when you're in the heat of the moment, when you're playing for a gold medal, you rely on your instincts. Because if you sit there and stop and think, you're cooked. Like, you're not going to win.
Mm-hmm.
That was my favorite moment when he picked that ball off the rim, because you can. In international play, you can. It was such a heads-up play. It was such a Draymond Green play. Draymond's not the most talented dude out there. Certainly not. But he's the kind of guy you win with. And that was a winning play.
Right.
And for all the hate that the men's basketball Olympic team gets, I felt like the nation was kind of divided. I think half of America wanted to see them fail. I really felt that way, judging off the. And look, social media is not the best barometer, but it's the only outlet that you have that's easily accessible. I felt like there was a lot of hate towards the men's basketball team, and I was glad they won, and I was glad they won in that way, because Draymond Green's you can say what you want about Draymond Green. You don't like his antics. He gets technical fouls. You can say whatever you want, but the dude wins.
Draymond Green is a very smart player that does stupid shit.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
That's what he's all about. I've known him since high school.
Right.
And so that's just the way he is.
Yeah,
I'm from SAG. I'm from the SAG nasty. I got that swagger. And then he doesn't think sometimes, but he's a very smart player. And he knows exactly what he's doing. And he knows what he's doing even when he's melting down.
Yeah, and I thought that was such a great play that not a lot of people talked about, but that was my favorite play of that, because I had forgotten. You're sitting there watching. I had forgotten that there's little rule intricacies that are different with international basketball than they are with the NBA. But I had forgotten that. That was a great play by him. But as far as I go, it's wrapping up the Olympic discussion. I just didn't watch hardly any of it, and I do enjoy the Olympics, but. You and I discussed this, last time we did the show together, just the time difference. I'm not going to watch stuff that's taped. I'm not going to do it because I already know what happened because of social media and all that kind of stuff. And the way that we treat each other now, I'm talking about in America as general, the way that we treat each other, I just don't feel as patriotic as I have in the past, man. Maybe I'm soft, maybe I'm not. But
no, it does feel different. I think half the nation hates the other half.
Yeah.
And, the last time we were united, I thought was after 9/11.
Right.
After the terrorist attack, it was like, oh, you my boo, what's up, dog?
Yeah,
you
everybody
all right?
love everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
And then after that, no. I think this is the most divided we've ever been. Now, we've been divided, but usually it's 70-30 or 80-20. Now, it's 50-50 or 51-49, whatever, however it wants to go. But we hate each other. This is not a disagreement thing. This is turned into hate.
It's deep-seated. What do you got, Fish?
Neil, you're a hockey fan, right? Ice hockey fan? So, Beijing, 6 months from now, will you watch the ice hockey live? Like USA Canada gold medal, I'm assuming they may even put it on 10:30 p.m. America time.
I'll give you 10:30. I'll give you 11.
So you won't do a 7 a.m.?
I won't watch the whole thing because I'll be asleep.
Yeah, and I'll battle and I'll stay awake and I'll fight through it if the game is good. But USA Kazakhstan at 2 a.m., I'm out.
What if they do 7 a.m. on Saturday? Gold medal.
I'll get you in the second half of the game. I have kids, so I'm probably going to be up 7:30, 7:30ish around there. But I'll give you the second half. I'm not going to set my alarm for 6:45 and eat breakfast and get my workout in, and then.
If I happen to wake up, I'll watch it.
Yeah, that's kind of where I am. USA Canada gold medal. I would make that appointment viewing as long as the conditions are right. Like the gold medal basketball game was right at the tail end of the conditions, quote unquote, being right. And it's nice too because international basketball, moves.
Yeah.
It's 40-minute game. You know, the game moves, and it's over within 2 hours, no matter what.
If it's U.S. Canada in hockey, I'll go as early as 6 a.m.
Ooh, okay.
You're a better American than I am, I guess, Terry.
A little bit. But 5:30, now I'm out.
Yeah, but I go back, Terry, to what you were talking about, and that's got nothing to do with the Olympics. That's got nothing to do with USA or anything like that. I just don't like where we are in terms of each other right now in America. And you said, and it was eye-opening to hear you say that. We hate each other right now, and I don't like that, man. I don't like that at all.
I don't hate you.
Yeah,
I'm just saying
I don't hate
in general.
You, but as in a general sense, you know, when you go across the board, you know, I just don't feel like we're there with each other.
You know what I think the catalyst is? Social media. Because the very same people on social media who will give it to you real hard, if you meet them in real life, it's a lot different situation.
Right.
But we can't get past the social media. We can't get past the cable TV news networks. That's our lives. But someone keeps telling me that's not reality. I've got to actually try to understand that. Twitter is not reality. Cable news network shows are not reality. That there is some middle ground in there somewhere. I just have a hard time finding it.
Right, and that's the thing that's really got me about the Olympics. I just wasn't feeling the love, man. I just wasn't feeling the love. Lions have a kicking situation, potential kicking situation. We'll touch on that when we get back. He is Terry Foster. My name is Neal Ruhl. This is the Woodward Sports Network.
Welcome to the Call Sam Chopper Shop, where you can win a custom-built chopper while helping our veterans at the same time.
Watch as the Bad Pig Custom team turns this bike into a one-of-a-kind classic chopper.
And when it's finished, we'll be donating the bike to Volunteers of America, Michigan to raffle off in support of our vets.
A great cause to give back to those who've given so much.
Watch for Call Sam Chopper Shop episodes on our social media channels and get your raffle ticket today at callsam.com/chopper shop.
Back at it here, coming down the stretch of the midday show. Neal Ruhl, Terry Foster back with you on the Woodward Sports Network. Make sure you download that app if you haven't already. If you're watching on Facebook Live right now or wherever you're consuming the show, bump over to that app store, Google Play Store. Download that Woodward Sports Network app. Everything's at the tip of your fingers. Very easy to navigate, so I highly, highly recommend that. Reaction on Facebook Live. Can't wait for the Winter Olympics in Antarctica when ice fishing is an Olympic sport. Once I saw power walking in the Olympic sport, I'm like, what are we doing here? And that is what.
No, stop. Walking.
Yeah, you guys didn't like
Olympics
race walking?
for a long
Yeah.
time. And
Race
there's
walking.
a technique. You can't have your
you can't
heel
be in
up.
the air, right? You can't be in the air.
Yeah, one foot always has to be touching, right?
You got to walk funny
Yeah.
like this. You can never be in the air.
Nah, bro, come on.
You walk like this.
No, they actually do if you watch because you can't put your foot down, so you have to make sure your foot's always
right. And they have judges looking at your feet.
They do.
Fish, is the USA good at race walking?
No, I don't think they medaled within like the top 10.
Really?
I think Poland won. One of the Poland guys got gold.
Yeah, but you got to look at it too. Like we use scooters and then leave them in the street for the next person to use. You know, that's how we get around. We use scooters. I'm sure Lime scooters or whatever, though. You know those green scooters that are always around every city. I'm sure that's going to be an Olympic sport soon too. We'll win that because we'll bust open that app and get on that thing and we'll do it up.
Hopefully. I mean, I don't know.
If it is a sport, Fish will be there.
Did the United States win gold in 3-on-3 basketball? I know they did for the women. Did they for the men?
I will look it up. I would assume
because what they should have done.
Oh wait,
they should have just got guys out of Rucker Park in New York and say you're in the Olympics.
There's a slight chance that they may not have qualified.
Ooh.
So I will look that up. I don't know if they qualified.
Well, somebody tell KD. He'll get on that 3-on-3 team, and he'll get in there and rectify all
Which,
that.
by the way, did you guys like 3-on-3? I saw a lot of criticism of the 3-on-3. Did you guys even watch it? Do you guys know what it even is?
I watched the 3-on-3, the college thing that they did when they took, and it was at the Final Four. I was at the Final Four in Minneapolis the year Virginia won. And they had it like, they had a 3-on-3 tournament in the Mall of America. It was like right in the middle of the Mall of America. And what they would do is they would take college seniors or guys who declared for the draft or whoever that was eligible, that was no longer going to be playing in college, and they would pay them. If they won, they won money. And it was like it was a pretty big thing. And I enjoy 3-on-3 basketball. I don't know about its legitimacy as an Olympic sport. Like, I enjoy 3-on-3 basketball in the driveway.
Gus Macker's
cool.
My little team won. We were the toilet bowl champions one year.
You still got that trophy, Terry?
I still got it.
You need to bring that in.
I'll bring it in.
I gotta see that trophy.
So Latvia won gold, and the U.S. did not qualify.
What's the
How can you not qualify?
Yeah, what's the qualification? Now I'm intrigued. I was going to talk about the Lions kicking situation, but that can wait.
Yeah, I'm looking through the pool stage. They did not play. They didn't qualify for the Olympics. I don't know how that happens, but
what's the process?
Well, it's probably just like the basketball for Olympics. You got to go through qualification, and somehow the USA didn't qualify.
They
lost.
They got beat by somebody.
Yeah,
is there a tournament of the Americas, like us and Mexico and Jamaica and
probably
Canada?
Somehow we lost.
I'll have to look into that one, Fish, and see what the story is with that. But speaking of stories, the Lions have one. Matt Prater, obviously not with the team anymore. There's competition between Matt Wright and Ricky Bullock for the kicking spot. And it hasn't been going well by all accounts, that the kicking spot could be a problem for the Detroit Lions. And the question is, Terry, how detrimental is that to the team? I think I know what your answer is because I know what my answer is. That's big, man.
No, you don't know my answer. My answer is it's not big because they're not good. If they were a good football team, then it would be detrimental.
Well, they are a good football team when the season starts.
Multiple times within the past couple seasons, Matt Prater was the only thing holding us together. We were hanging on by a thread, and that man came in clutch multiple times, and it was Matt Prater and Matt Prater alone.
Do you know his last season, Matt Prater stunk? He was missing easy field goals.
Yeah, but when it mattered, kicked him through.
Yeah, but when you have the number...
Did he kick him into the playoffs?
Yeah.
No, but the team wasn't gonna. The team has to get the kicker in the position.
That's my point. They're not going to get him in the position.
They will this year. They didn't last year. They will this year. This year.
They'll bring the field goal kicker in down 14. Who cares? In the fourth quarter.
You mean up 14.
Guys,
right?
They're not good.
They will be.
Eventually.
September 12th, they will be great. 2021, by the way, not 2028 or whatever.
Am I in Bizarro Land? That's what I want to know.
Lions this year.
Where am I? Because my head is spinning.
You're in Detroit.
I feel like I'm not here.
Which, by the way, will be the home of the Super Bowl champions. Detroit Lions 2022.
All right, with all that being said,
my answer is no. It's not detrimental.
And I always say yes because the kicking game doesn't matter until it does. And when it does, it's the only thing that matters.
Guys, it's not going to matter
now,
this year.
Terry, fair. That's fair, okay? I'll give you that. That's fair.
Wake up.
I'm up. And I'll be upper when they win the Super Bowl.
Open your eyes and see what's going on around here. They're not good. I don't care if they had fights. I don't care if Dan Campbell's walking around. I'm going to bust some kneecaps. They're not good. Anybody can catch a football. They may have a little bit of a running game. Their defense is atrocious. It'll be better this year because of schematics, but it's not good.
Terry, the Lions people that you've talked to, and I do want to kind of bleed you for this information. The Lions people that you talked to, is there any concern about Goff? Because a couple of media reports I've been reading, it said he hasn't been very sharp at all.
Yes, they're concerned about Jared Goff, who's the quarterback. Most important position on the field.
Are there more concerns about Goff or the kicking game?
Goff, because he's going to matter. The kicking will not matter.
Right.
You don't have to throw the ball long to win. All you have to do is Hawkinson can run for like 30 yards.
Hand off.
You could just 10-yard bloop, Hawkinson, bloop, touchdown.
That easy.
We've seen it before. Quarterbacks don't have a good arm, but if you can throw the short passes, if the wide receiver and tight end can run fast, juke defenders, they'll be fine.
Let me just say this. This is a public address announcement. Crack cocaine is a horrible drug.
It is.
You guys get off the opioids, get off the crack, drink some milk or something.
Kennedy,
stop
hanging around that techno crowd right now.
Yeah, there's the techno crowd got to my brain.
Techno, no more techno.
No more techno parties with proof of immunization
Maybe
required.
it's the
Kennedy, who's got a better shot this year, the Jags or the Lions?
Choose wisely.
Oh boy.
The Lions.
No pressure.
Hey.
Damn. So you turn on your boy Tim Tebow and Urban Meyer.
Listen, if Tebow was the quarterback, it'd be the Jags.
But Terry, you know what though? I am a kicking game slap. Like when I do fantasy football leagues, I'm always the first one to take a kicker because it matters, man. I know what you're saying. 30,000 foot with where this team is right now, it doesn't matter. And technically, you're not wrong. If anything, it will help because the second you're not in the playoff race anymore, ... get the highest draft pick you can get. So maybe in the long game, maybe Terry, what you're putting is the kicking game could be the biggest asset that they have.
No, boy, listen to this.
Because if you miss a field goal and you lose the game, that's good for business.
No, stop. You're in the fourth quarter, you're down 21-6, and you trot out your kicking game.
Yeah.
Are they going to have field goals that count for 15 or 16 points? No, they count for 3.
It's not rock and jock. Yeah.
So it doesn't matter.
And then your onside kick, get the ball back.
You can't
score
onside
touchdown.
kick in the NFL.
Well, you can.
Your chances of recovering the ball are like 2%.
Yeah,
I hate that.
It's
going to
be higher when the Lions play.
I hate how they changed that whole the onside kick.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know,
they're trying to eliminate. They're trying to eliminate kickoffs, and that's why Canadian football rules. They're not stopping kickoffs.
Oh,
you're kicking that ball, and you're banging each other at 28 miles per hour from the kickoff.
You know what? They should have singles in the NFL then.
They do in Canada. They got that rouge, which is pretty critical in certain games.
I'm a big CFL guy. I'm happy the CFL is back.
There was a good game on Saturday. Did you watch the Red Blacks and Rough Riders?
Yeah, I didn't catch it this weekend, and that's on me.
By the way, it was on national television, ESPN2.
Yeah,
just so you know.
That Friday night game though in Vancouver with the BC Lions, sign me up. Sign me up. I'm in there for it.
Hell yeah, Terry!
I watch
CFL.
I do watch the
Terry,
CFL.
why do you not like the CFL?
They have no defense. They have inferior players. It's cold.
Well, that's why they play in the summer.
The field is too damn big. And they have singles.
Remember Rocket Ismail, though, in the Canadian Football League?
You know why he was there?
56 million reasons.
He was he's trying to, you're either pissed about your contract here or you're not good enough.
Well, whatever. He was
Warren
still fun
Moon
to watch.
was over there.
He was fun to watch. You'll like this one. Chris Blackburn on Facebook Live says T. Foss is the smartest one in the room.
I agree. or maybe I'm not the smartest one. Maybe I'm the sanest one here.
There's a difference between those two.
Maybe I had oatmeal for breakfast and not vodka.
Or maybe you were not with the techno crowd all weekend.
I wasn't at the techno. No.
I feel very attacked over here on my little couch.
Yeah, I feel sorry for you.
When we come back, we'll wrap up the show. We're having a good time here, though. It is a midday show.
Yeah,
Woodward
let's get
Sports
out of
Network.
this, man. I can't believe this.
Neal Ruhl, Terry Foster. We'll be right back. Coming down the stretch here, Woodward Sports Network on the midday show. Neal Ruhl, Terry Foster with you, our Canadian football insider Fish in the Fish Bowl.
Oh, Fish, I got some information you don't know.
Okay.
There's a group of people who want to bring a CFL team to Detroit.
There have been several CFL teams to America. Baltimore, Vegas. They've all
Okay,
failed.
we don't care about that.
I'm just telling you, there's been other teams who have been in America.
Okay.
They've all failed.
Have any of them been in Detroit?
No.
Okay, I don't give a damn about them.
Okay.
Somebody wants to bring a CFL team to Detroit.
Okay.
Get on that.
The new stadium, the whole works. From what I was told, like that's it's.
So you heard something?
Yeah, I've heard it too. I mean, there are those rumblings out there. So hopefully that happens. But Fish is our Canadian football insider. Kennedy.
I might be biased because I kind of want it to stay in Canada. Because if America gets a team, then they're going to try to, over the time, skim the rules. And they're going to try to make it more like American football.
It'll be like the de facto Windsor team too. You know, Windsor's a viable sports market. You know, they could have their little.
Have you been to a game, Neil?
No,
a CFL game?
Yeah.
I have not been to a CFL game.
Ooh.
I need to go.
You should go.
I
went last year for 2019 for Labor Day.
Did you go to the Argos?
We went to Hamilton.
Oh, did you? My guy June Jones. I'm a big June Jones slappy. Man.
Okay, stop.
Back to his Hawaii days.
Stop it, please.
Terry, you're like country.
Terry,
Keith Urban did the halftime show for the CFL Grey Cup.
No. Urban Meyer might be in London because Jacksonville doesn't care about that stupid team there. That's why they might leave.
Well, Terry, from Facebook Live, Stefan Logan's still getting it in the CFL. He's always been fun to watch. See, the fans have spoken, man. They're all in.
There's good people in the CFL.
Huh?
There's a good people in the CFL. It's not national television.
They're wonderful
must
people
have
in the
found
CFL.
something good.
Wonderful people. Doesn't mean I have to watch it.
No, but again, as you can tell, Fish is our CFL insider. Kennedy's our Techno insider. Art is our T Grizzly insider. So we've got you covered. There is no doubt about that. But Terry, you know, it's as we wind down the show here, you know, it was a big weekend. We talked Calvin Johnson. We talked Cade Cunningham. Even were able to work the Tigers in there as well. What was your biggest takeaway from the weekend, Terry?
My biggest takeaway was the Calvin Johnson speech. I was not impressed by it. I thought it was almost an infomercial for his weedery. He should have mentioned the Lions, and I know they had problems, but you know what? Calvin Johnson's life was changed because of the money that the Detroit Lions paid him.
Terry, I heard somebody say that, and if they didn't take him, the team right behind him would have. Like that, I don't buy it. Calvin Johnson was going to be a mercurial talent in the NFL, regardless of where he played.
Where did he get the money from?
Then he would have got it from. He was going to get the money, Terry. Whether it be from the Lions, I don't give the Lions any credit for that at all. Like that's whoever was picking fourth that year would have taken him, and he'd still be in the Hall of Fame, and he still would have been one of the best wide receivers ever. The Lions had nothing to do with that.
The Lions are so bad they could have picked another Mike Williams at wide receiver.
I was a big Mike Williams fan. I was. I'm the only honest dude out here. Like I love that. I love the Boss Bailey pick, and I wasn't alone with the Boss Bailey thing. I love the Aaron Gibson pick. When he dunked the basketball, Terry, at 400 pounds, I was all and could do the splits. I was all in.
I'm sure you were. Do you know what his mother did professionally? Aaron Gibson.
She played basketball?
Nope.
What'd she do?
She was a clown.
Really?
Yes. He used to wear her shoes, her big clown shoes.
As like his shoes, yeah.
Right.
He was the biggest man I'd ever seen in my life.
She was a professional clown for real. I remember that from working on a profile on.
Did she travel around with like 14 other people in the car with her?
No. She just went to kids' parties. She was that kind of clown. She wasn't Oopsie the Clown or a big-time clown, but she'd go to kids' parties and make them laugh.
That's a great story, man. I'd never known that. I'll tell that story.
Yeah.
Within the next, we'll be sitting around having a beer or something. I'll tell that story.
Hey, that's not true. She was a professional accountant. No, she was a professional clown. Right. Not in the circus, but kids' parties clown.
Yeah, but we reset it all, and your big takeaway was the Calvin Johnson thing. My big takeaway was the Calvin Johnson thing as well, but just from the standpoint of it made me angry, just more angry about the Lions franchise. And again, you guys saw me do this earlier. Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell are separated in my discussion here. They are separate from that. I love what they're doing. I love what Brad Holmes has brought this franchise into the new century finally with the value of the draft capital and all those. The signs are there. They haven't done it yet. So I'm not Kennedy and everybody else here. I'm not planning the party. I'm not, what you say in the sports talk radio, we're not planning the parade as of yet. But with all that being said, I like the direction that Brad Holmes has this organization going. But It's the same thing over and over and over again. Name another franchise, guys. Name another franchise that acts like this or does anything like that.
I thought it would be different under Sheila Ford Hamp. I think she gets it a little bit more. So I thought she would squash this Calvin thing.
But obviously not.
That is true. I was wrong.
Obviously not. And that's the thing that drives me crazy about it, because you gave the roster earlier. Not only Barry Sanders, I'd forgotten about the whole Kevin Glover thing, Chris Spielman. I mean, you went down the list.
And they paid Scott Mitchell before they paid Barry Sanders.
Right.
Barry had to go through hoops to get his money, and Scott Mitchell like, here, dude, here's $11 million. Oh, you want 12? Shh, 12. There you go, brother.
Which is right around how much the Calvin fiasco is.
And then Barry had to negotiate, had to fight for his money.
Yeah.
Well, I guess my question is this, because I think you guys are right. I think Sheila does get it more than the others. I think she listens to what fans are saying, and like she has been very open about, like, I'm attending every meeting. Like, I want to be very, very involved in this franchise. But from my understanding, they did just offer him the money back, and he then rejected it.
But
so,
they had strings attached to it, where there was stuff he had to do and make appearances.
Yeah, it was like government money. The government just doesn't give you money. You got to do something for it.
Right.
Yeah.
But, I mean, at this point, what more can they do to fix it?
Cut him the check.
Just give, like, that would fix it? You think it'd be over with if they just wrote the check and said, be on your way?
Yeah, but I think it's like toothpaste at this point, though. Now, the toothpaste is out of the tube, and you can't get it back in. I mean, they botched this already.
That sucks.
I think it's past. And Calvin, in my opinion, Calvin will die on the hill over the $1.6 million.
It seems like he will, for sure.
He's drawn the line, and he doesn't care. He doesn't care if he gets it or not. He doesn't care because, you know, as you talked about, he's made a lot of money. He's one of the best to ever do it.
Mm-hmm.
His bank account's secure. He's got a good business going and everything like that. It just makes me angry that they botched this again with another player. And the track record, I'm a big resume guy. I always talk about your resume. Your resume is not questionable. I like to think I've put together a pretty good resume in this business. I'm a resume guy. You are what you've done. You're the product of what you've done. And the Lions, on the operational side, the resume is the resume, and you can't question it, sadly.
No, and there's a reason they've won one playoff game since 1957.
Terry.
There's a reason they're one of the worst franchises in professional sports.
Key word, were one of the worst.
Still are until they change.
That's fine. They still are until September 12th, 2021, and then they will be the best in February when the Super Bowl comes home on that following month. I believe it's
You sound like an England soccer fan
I am.
now.
Football's coming home.
Yeah. You sound like England fans talk about the Euro Cup. They're like, it's coming home.
Yep.
When was the last time you won? 1966.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean coming home?
Well,
they've been gone. They've been out on the road a long time.
You guys are like
they didn't get
England.
They didn't get it this year.
Every year, England's going to win the World Cup.
Yep.
Every year,
it's coming home.
They get booted in the quarterfinals or something.
It's coming.
They made it to the final. Detroit is going to do the same thing.
When something hasn't come back home since 1966 or 1957, give up on it. They ain't coming home.
It's like my mother.
Yeah, they're not coming home. They've moved. They've moved, and they're not coming back. And yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where I walk away so disappointed, and it's just another in a long line, Terry. And I'm not faulting Calvin at all. I'm not, because he's one of the best at what he's done. He's one of the best in the history of the game. The Lions as an organization are not.
No, they are not. It's hard to defend the Lions. I think the main reason people come down on the Lions is, one, because of their history, two, because other franchises like Seattle and Indy paid their guys and say, okay, you retire, you're done, you don't have to pay back the bonus. The Lions are the only ones that say, hey, you got to pay it back. And the PR is not even worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. Tomorrow, Terry, Houston Rockets, Pistons, Summer League, Cade Cunningham, Jalen Green.
I'm going to watch it.
Are you guys locked in for this one? Oh, 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. I can't wait for this
game. And afterwards, it's time to overreact.
Yeah, that's why I'm very nervous about that. People are, if it doesn't go the way we want it to, people are going to be, we should have taken Green, and
But you know what? The hell with them.
I agree,
Because
Terry.
the bottom line is no matter what happens, the Pistons will be 0-0, and Houston will be 0-0.
Tomorrow, Kennedy, what 2-hour pregame show for the Summer League? Pistons, we're breaking it down from all angles.
Let's go.
Have a tailgate.
we should do it though. I'm all in. I can't wait for tomorrow, but I'll be back with you. When you in again next
Wednesday.
week? Wednesday you'll be in? Okay.
That's what I'm told.
So you and I will be running it again on Wednesday, man. I can't wait for that.
Overreact.
Overreaction Wednesday. We can do it. We'll do it all day, the whole show. We'll do it the whole show. We'll break it down.
Cade Cunningham.
Yeah. trade Cade. We go from motorcade to trade Cade. No,
right.
I can't wait for it though. But big thank you to everybody that watched, interacted, messages on the show. Certainly do appreciate all of you. Big thank you to Fish, Kennedy, and Art. Terry, you're the man. As always, it's been a lot of fun. My name is Neal Ruhl. Thanks for watching the Midday Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Well, see you later.
Bam.